You can't see me because of dog.
Yep.
It's finally cool enough to take her for a ride, which is something that she has been waiting to do.
I'll fix this.
There you go.
There. Open the windows.
She's been waiting for a ride for like weeks, and it's either been like too hot or we've been stuck at home.
Yep.
Because, you know, virus.
Yep. We're out on an essentials run today.
Yep.
We actually we got to go 2 places. Got to go Home Depot. Need a couple of things. Need some propane.
Yeah, we need to go to Walmart.
And a couple other things. And we need to go to Walmart.
Groceries.
So in our town, those are both in one shopping plaza thing.
Yeah.
Whatever. So.
Ooh, nada. Ooh, nada. Go out a window, please.
Yep. She's done.
She's done. It's
all
cold.
Right. So we're heading out and about. Looks like very light traffic. Which one should we do first?
I think Home Depot, since Walmart is gonna limit the amount of people that can go in the store.
But then,
That
with nobody out and about right now, look how light the traffic is. With nobody out and about right now might be a better time to go to Walmart, if you think about it. But then again, we have refrigerated product too.
Yeah.
That we have to buy.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go to Home Depot first.
All right. We'll do Home Depot first, and then.
Yeah.
Ow! Here, we'll open the sunroof.
No, up here. Oh yes.
We'll only open it part way.
Feels like it was like 80 just the other week.
It was.
And now it's freezing again.
It is supposed to reach into the lower 70s today, but it is only, I say only 10:30 in the morning. But it is supposed to get warmer today.
Well, Walmart and a bunch of the shopping places are down this way.
When I went to work yesterday, I drive by both a Home Depot and a Lowe's. Both were extremely busy at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
When I went into work yesterday.
Yeah, people are gardening.
So
the garden centers are popping in those stores.
So a side effect of this all is going to be everybody's going to have great looking properties.
Yeah.
Curb appeal will never be better.
Yeah.
Because everybody's got all time in the world to work on their...
People who don't have the slightest clue how to garden are trying to garden.
Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah. We'll probably see that today. The garden center is going to be crazy busy in this.
Oh my God.
Ow!
Home Depot's not too busy.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Doable. They're not restricting anybody access, so. Orange County. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Animal control.
He gonna get you, Nala.
That's
He's
the dog
here to
catcher.
Get you.
That's the dog catcher. What's the dog catcher doing here?
Now here she starts.
Yep.
She knows she's getting left behind.
Yep. She knows it. It's 57 out, so leave the sunroof open. Leave the windows open
A smidge.
enough to get her nose out, but not enough to get her shoulders out.
Yeah.
And she'll be just fine.
She'll be fine. Throw temper tantrums. when
Temper.
we need.
All right, let's go inside. Yep. All right, you're gonna get a cart.
Busy.
Yep.
Here, what's on the list?
What are they doing? There. So the only thing that we're seeing that's unusual is at the checkout.
They're big. Okay. What you got there?
Got propane.
Propane.
This one's a lot heavier than the one I just brought him.
It's her.
Yeah.
He's the lady of the house. Is she? Good morning. Hi. So, Home Depot run's done.
Home Depot run, a success.
What did we do? What did we get?
We got a few things. Not as much stuff as I'd like, but we got a new water hose to replace our really badly leaking one.
Yep.
We got
Stuff to refinish the deck.
stuff to refinish the deck, which probably won't happen today because it's supposed to rain tomorrow, and it says you got to have no rain in the forecast for 48 hours.
Yeah. Her head is in the way.
Yep. And whoop. And we got a piece of wire to move a light that I have in my driveway that needs to be moved. And what else do we get?
I think that's it.
A couple other odds and ends.
Yeah. Just some home fixing stuff.
Home fixing stuff.
Now we're headed to Wally World to get some groceries and to buy my game since my Switch is coming this week.
That's why you're in a hurry to get to Wally World. I need to sanitize my steering wheel.
Yeah, they didn't offer any like sanitizer for carts.
Let's talk about in terms of what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're counting heads going in and out of the store.
Yeah.
There's a person at each, you have to go in one entrance and come out another. And there's a person at the door counting heads. They got a little computer in their hand that they're basically keeping track of how many people are in the store. So I would imagine at some point if too many people try to go in, they're gonna create a line.
Yeah. And I expect it to be the same way at Walmart too. They said
Walmart
they
has announced they're doing the same thing, yeah.
limiting people.
I don't see a line right now at Walmart. I need to find a shady place to park though.
Yeah.
It's getting a little too sunny and warm.
There's some trees by the side. There were signs up all over the store limiting like masks and nitrile gloves and all of that.
Yeah, the store itself didn't have really that much in terms of signage or limitations until we got close to the front end where there's signs all over the place telling people to stay 6 feet apart and all kinds of, that kind of stuff. And just about everybody's wearing masks now.
Yeah.
Of course, the president came out, was it yesterday or the day before, suggesting that anytime you go out in public that you wear a mask. Other than that, it was just a pretty normal trip. It wasn't very busy.
Well, it was.
Well, not too bad.
Hmm.
I expected worse. It is a weekend. It is a Sunday.
All right.
So now we just crossed the parking lot to the Walmart and we got to go inside and get some groceries.
All right, let's go get groceries.
So here's what Walmart is doing. Social distancing. Please keep 6 feet apart. So this guy's counting heads. Let's grab one of these carts. Oh yeah, you can't eat in. Remember?
Yeah, I guess it is better. We just go downtown. Animal Crossing and Saints Row at the bottom. You too.
stuck one of these to the back of the mailbox post. 2 of those.
Yeah, it's running. Okay.
You got it?
Got it. Do you have everything? You have everything.
Got everything?
Got everything.
They're training us. In one way, out the other. You got the receipt, right? Thank you. Have a good day. You too.
Puts us away.
Oh, did she just walk out with it? I ought to just put my hockey equipment away. I haven't used it in a month. So now that we're all corona contaminated, we can go home.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go home, Nala?
You ready to go home?
Nala, are you ready to go home?
Go home.
Are you ready to go home?
Prada.com. We stock 12 popular glass chair mat sizes, and shipping is always free. Save 10% when you enter
I guess that's it for now.
Yep.
We'll be back later, maybe. Hopefully.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Go for a walk.
Go for a ride? Go for a walk? Yeah. You wanna go? You wanna go for a ride? Yeah? Yeah? You wanna go for a ride? Get your leash. Where's your leash? Where's your leash? Where's your leash, Nala?
Where are we going, Nala? We going for a walk? We're back at it again
Back at it again.
in different non-corona clothes.
We're gonna have
No,
a
we're
quiet
gonna
doggy
get dirty.
tonight. Quiet doggy tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna take her for a nice long walk around Occoneechee.
Probably do the
The
walk that
old
we never
race track.
finished that day.
Yeah, right, because it was raining, wasn't it?
Of course, we don't have the A73 to play
cold.
with that day.
Yeah. Okay, this is Nala reaction cam.
She's sensing.
Already, Miss Nala.
She's looking for a place that she recognizes.
She knows. She no dummy. Here she is.
There's places to park.
Are there? I guess we can do that. She's ready.
All the windows up.
Yeah, so she doesn't jump out. Yeah, I don't need the temper tantrum, ma'am. Ma'am! She's gonna go out with you,
Where's the leash?
Here. What are you doing?
We're gonna get all our stuff.
Let's go for a walk. So I think we've tried to do this video like 3 or 4 times now.
Yep.
And it's never been like a good day for it. There's always something that went wrong between like rain and just being a cold day. Oh.
We came here to Occoneechee Speedway. This is actually an old NASCAR Speedway, one of the original from the first season. Here's a map of the place where they used to race cars here. So yeah, there's some pictures from the old racing days from this area. But now it's a series of walking trails. So we're gonna go up Spectator Trace. So this is basically when you were a spectator, you would be heading up over these. This fence is original over here. So if you were a spectator for the races, you'd walk up this way. Of course, that whole area that we just walked in, all that over here used to be all fields where the spectators would park their cars.
It's a lot busier here today than it normally is.
Yeah.
It's not usually as busy as it is.
Here's the problem. All the national parks, all the state parks that are getting a lot of visitors have closed.
So this is probably one of the few nature trails that are open in the town.
All the local state parks are closed. Yeah. Because of overcrowding. So, but this place is still open. They haven't closed. It's privately owned by an organization that has vowed to preserve this property, bought the property, and now has preserved it for the public use as a kind of a walking trail system. So that's what we're here to do today. Yep. Is to explore some of these trails. And we don't go up this one very often.
Usually we just go around the main track.
Yeah, usually we walk in and walk the track, but we're doing the Spectator Trace this time.
Seems a little less crowded up here.
It is. Most people do go around the track. That's why I decided to go up this way. So there's some kind of neat stuff up here. They've rebuilt some of the structures up here that were once here. The concession, the ticket booth, that kind of stuff. There's also an old bathroom facility up here. The story is that they were using this place and all the churches around here didn't like, they viewed these people as a band of outlaws. Yeah. And they drove them out of town. So whoever had the place abandoned it and they moved. They essentially built a track down in Talladega, Alabama, which everybody who's a fan of NASCAR knows Talladega. Yeah. And they built a super speedway down there. And that track essentially replaced this one on the NASCAR schedule. And then this one was left abandoned for years and years and years.
So until trees grew up around it.
Yeah, all these trees grew up in that time. And they grew up in the middle of the track. And
yeah, when we first moved here, it was still pretty overgrown.
Yeah, they had just opened this property. Yeah. They had just opened this property up to the public when we first moved here. So, but it was still pretty overgrown, but they've been working on it.
They've been clearing out the middle a lot.
They've been working on it a lot in the years since. And it's actually quite a nice facility now. So
start clearing out the brush and
yep.
Sort of overtaking everything.
Yep. So yeah, this is I don't know, we'll show you around. It's kind of a neat place. Here. So this is an old ticket booth. This was actually completely destroyed over the years from abandonment, but they have since completely rebuilt it to its original footprint, from what I understand. And that's where it is. So, and was more parking down that way. This is all fields over here where they would park, and then you buy your tickets and you would enter in. They had the old archway sign. There was an old archway sign that went over the right over the entrance right there, but that sign's missing. So I don't know if someone came and stole it, but yeah, this is the old ticket. I'm to believe that those signs where it says tickets are original, as is most of this fence. This is kind of cool, an old poster. That's neat.
Actually, it looks like a reprint. But yeah.
Yeah, it does look like a reprint.
But it's based off of probably a poster that was hanging around.
Looks like a print of someone took a picture, a photograph.
Yeah.
of an original sign.
Well, that might
And they
be at
printed that.
a historical society somewhere in town.
Right,
The original.
preserved, not open to the
Yeah.
elements. There was a very short time in history that this town, Hillsborough, North Carolina, was the capital of the state back in the Civil War area. So here's a timeline of races. So stock car racing started in 1920. They started racing here in the 50s. And these are actually pictures. That's actually a picture from this facility, as is that one. And then 1963 was the last, no, sorry, 68. September 15, 1968 was the last race held at this racetrack.
Yeah.
And then from 69 to 97, the grounds become overgrown because it was completely unused. Here's an early picture from when they first started opening it up. That picture was on the back straightaway. But they've since cleared out all of the...
No, we're gonna walk.
Here's a list. All the drivers who raced here. And then here's all the race results from all the races from here. So, pretty cool. All right, you want to go over here?
Sure. Let's go this way.
I think this is just a storage building now. They call it the outhouse. I think it was a bathroom facility back in the day. But I think they use it now as their kind of office and storage. They might have a
Hole in the ground.
they might have a makeshift museum set up. And it looks like they're just using it for storage now. So before we go down there, you can see down there is a concession stand. Before we go down there, we'll go over this way because there's stuff over here. All right, this structure we're coming up on now is an original structure to the Speedway. Got a lot of bolt holes in it. People that have come in here over the years and shoot the place. This green graffiti is modern. No, this is a men's room. Men's room.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is. What was it?
Negroes not allowed.
Negroes not allowed. That's what it says. You can kind of see it in there. Negroes not allowed.
Maybe a clearer one on the other side or something.
That's why I couldn't see it that day. They had it covered with a couple pieces of sheet metal. Somebody uncovered it.
Well, there's no point to hide history.
But it's basically a hole in the ground. This was obviously a #1 restroom. Oh, this graffiti's all new. This wasn't here the last time I came.
It's a ton of bolt.
Yep. Yeah, the bolt holes have been here quite a while.
Hey, just get out of that hole, please.
But yeah, this is basically an outhouse. A hole dug in the ground for people to use as a restroom facility. And they had covered it up. All right, so once back at the outhouse, we go down this road, and this takes us down over the hill, closer to the main track. Now, if you look down over here, you can actually see the track where those people are walking. That's the racetrack. Now the fence has all been put back up since last time.
Oh, was it down?
Oh yeah, when we first got here there was no fence. In fact, there were trees growing in the grandstand and they've cut those down.
Oh, you mean when we first moved here?
Yeah. But yeah, here's a concession stand and a press box up there.
So curious. Excuse me, sir. I would like a hot dog.
Yeah. She wants to look. She wants to explore.
Nana, look. There's Daddy. There's Daddy. Nana, look.
So here is the original grandstand. This has been here all these years, just sitting here. Actually had trees growing on it when they first rediscovered this place. But you can see where a lot of the concrete has been fixed. When we first came here, when we first time we ever came here, there were trees literally growing in amongst the concrete, and the concrete slabs were all broken and buckled. Yeah. And they've done a lot of cleaning and fixing of the concrete. You can see the lighter concrete. But yeah, this is the original grandstand, and of course the hill extends well beyond the grandstand on both sides, where people would sit on the hill and watch the races. But you got turn 4 down there, turn 1 down there, and that's the flag stand, which if you look at pictures was unprotected like that back in those days. Now beyond the racetrack, in the infield, there's actually football goalposts set up. Because back when Orange County only had one high school, there was a time, and I don't know exactly from what year to what year, but there was a time that the high school in this county used this area. They used the grandstand that obviously exists already. I think it was back in the 60s as well. Probably. And they actually played football games on this field. Obviously the trees that are here now weren't there at the time, so it's been a long time since they've used the field. But they used this field to play football, and over in that corner, I think, was where the old scoreboard, and there's also the remnants of a structure there that used to be probably the scoreboard for the football field that used to be here. So yeah, that's there. And those goalposts have been put up since they've been put back up since this place has been. So they've done a lot of work on this place. They really have.
To restore it.
Yep.
Not fully restore it, but kind of restore it to what sort of where you get an idea of what it used to be.
Right. So here we're standing. You want to go backwards around the track?
Yeah.
All right.
I want to take right turns instead of left.
We're going to go right turns instead of left. Yeah. So we're going to go backwards around the track. So here's the main straightaway. You've got here, and then you've got the grandstand, which you can't see very well because of the sun. And then looking down towards turn 1 over there. All right, we're gonna go backwards around the track. All right, so we're heading into turn 4. You can actually make out the bank of the turn as we go backwards around this track. All right, so looking out of turn 3 into turn 4, and then coming back this way, we're coming back around, and we're looking towards the main straightaway, or the back straightaway. You can definitely see how long it is. You got people. I think they said this track was a third of a mile all the way around. Half mile. There'll be information online about it, but anyway, we're looking down the back straightaway now. So as we look into turn 3 that way, you can see the bank of the turn, and then the back straightaway is this way, looking back towards turn 2. They have a festival once a year, or it's basically one day. It's not a whole weekend or anything like that, where they bring back a bunch of really old men to relive the glory days. It's mostly made up of people who either raced here themselves or were young and their fathers raced here. And they bring back cars that have been, yeah, just off the back straightaway is the Eno River, and it actually goes around the corner and follows, not all the way around the back of the track, but it runs along this side of the track. So that's the Eno River down there. But yeah, cars have been known to go in the river, but they do have a one annual, I can't remember when it is, I think it's in September. They have an annual one-day kind of reliving the glory days of racing here, where they bring a bunch of old cars from that era, old race cars that have been kept in storage and restored and, you know, kept up.
Yeah.
And they bring them here, and they do several laps around. They don't go at high speed or anything. It's more like parade speed is
Yeah.
how fast they go around. And it's kind of a chance to see, you know, what it was like to be here for a day where there's, I wouldn't say thousands of people, but hundreds of people come to that festival every year for that. All right, so we're sitting here on this bench, and we just happen to notice this tree right here. This tree is considerably older than all the other trees around it. My guess is this tree was probably here back in the days that they were racing. Imagine the things that this tree has seen. If a tree could have eyes. Because we're technically on the track right now. The edge of the track is right here.
Yeah.
So anything that's beyond that, that's old enough, could be definitely realistically something that would have been here when they were racing. But anything that's up here on this bank would not have been here back in those days. But this tree is much larger than all the other ones around here, so that one was probably there during the racing days.
Alright, we'll go continue.
Alright, we continue. So we're back at the middle part of the racetrack. You look through there, you can see the flag stand and the football field. That's all over through these trees. So this was actually a pretty good racetrack. It's like narrow, but the space between the back straight and the front straight is pretty narrow. So you could actually sit on the grandstand over there and watch the racing going on over here. Here we are. We've made it to turn 2. The straightaway, looking down the straightaway, and then back towards turn 2. Here you can look all the way around the turn because they've cleared all the woods underneath. I know when we first came here, you couldn't see across to that area over there. There was so much brush, and they've done all that clearing. They've left the biggest trees in place, but they've done a lot of clearing underneath so that you can get up in there. I'm curious how many artifacts they found when they came back in here for the first time. I'm sure they keep finding artifacts, you know, car parts and more car parts.
Not much else besides that.
Yeah.
Maybe some old Coke bottles.
Nuts and bolts. Yeah, maybe some old trash. I'm sure they left this place trash when they left. Because people in those days weren't the most environmentally conscious of folk.
Nor are they still, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a little more taboo now to litter than it was then. Back then they didn't care so much.
Yeah, this all used to be like brush.
Yeah, this is all thick brush all through here. So yeah, was it you and me that came here once, or Mom and I came here once? And right here in this turn, they were actually filming an old-timey movie.
Oh, I was there that day.
I think it was all 3 of us.
Yeah.
Were here. We came one morning and they were filming an old-timey movie. They had a couple antique cars and they were dressed in 1920s period clothing. It was
like a moonshiners documentary or something.
It was a small movie production crew that was here. Not big Hollywood stuff, but more like local.
Yeah, small local TV sort of thing.
Production company making some sort of either a documentary or a small movie. So that was kind of neat. They were in between takes because they were letting us walk past them. So, all right, so we're in turn 1 now. That path that goes up there is the path to get back to the modern day parking lot, but that obviously wasn't part of the track. That banking right there is part of the track, and that banking turns and goes that way. So we're coming back onto the main straightaway, going backwards from turn 1. And we're coming to a spot where they have an old car that once raced here, that someone donated to just keep as kind of a museum piece. What are you doing? You good girl. You good girl. So here's another car that raced here that Nala wants to investigate.
She could investigate the other one. Want to go for a ride? Yeah, you want to go for a ride? She wants to go for a ride. Oh, careful. Careful.
It's not much to these cars. They're welded shut. See, the doors are welded shut.
Doesn't mean she doesn't want to go for a ride.
Yeah.
She sees a car. She knows it's a car.
Well, you can tell these cars were sitting in a field somewhere and being unused and letting it rot.
Hey. What you eating grass?
Don't look too comfortable, does it? Early days of NASCAR.
Can you quit eating grass? You're gonna make yourself sick. Nasty. You're nasty. Stop that.
And then down the straightaway.
Oh.
I know, you're going to be in the shot. Going down the main straightaway towards turn 1. So I think this bank that's over here was there to protect the fans. So if any cars went out of control, they would hit that bank and they'd stay out of the crowd.
Where the big chief sleeps beneath the trees, there's a shadow where a racetrack used to be, where the roar of the crowd is a memory. Down at Occoneechee on a Sunday